like not gain weight. The nigga that lost weight, lifted weights or some shit doing with some weight. So big as hell, man. Man, they said nigga got muscles and shit, man. So he ain't bullshit this time.
I like red balls, my type, light skin, that's black, hello.
TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
I like red balls, my type, light skin, that's black, hello.
TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic. TFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
What up? What tripping? What up? What up? What up? Like and share, like and share, like and share, so we get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world you could be. But you're supposed to be here with me, the BABG, and of course, Miss Paradise P. What's going on with
y'all? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody.
How's everything?
I'm sleepy. Sleepy as fuck.
Sunday's the rest day, right?
They are, but it's so pretty outside here. I don't know how your weather is down in Florida, but in Texas is, well, in Dallas. You know, Texas got some other shit going on, like Florida be having some other shit going on. But no, Dallas got some pretty weather today.
Okay. Yeah, it's been raining down here like crazy. But let's get into it. Y'all know how we do it. Like I said, man, hit that like button and share button on both channels. Mods, do me a favor. Make sure y'all put Paris' stream in here too on YouTube, so you guys can go over there, show us some love, and like her stream too. Let's go ahead and get into it. Do what we do. Now, this one right here, man. Let's start off real light. You feel me? Shout out to that rabbit guy for, you know what I'm saying, his never-ending commentary.
I love him. I ain't gonna tell y'all his real name, but I love him.
shout out to him, man, for pretty much making this I don't know. I don't want to say anything offensive.
Yeah, this girl here, man.
Listen, man.
Hey, let me just say, you know, it's crazy to me that for the last, I would say, about 5 years. The whole discourse online has been women get BBLs because men make them feel like they need to correct their body. And the whole time you got a non-walking, impaired, thick wheelchair lady who going viral for just looking regular. She ain't wearing no makeup. That shit right there she got on don't even look good, but she ain't got no real choice to wear anything else different. Like if she was standing up, that wouldn't be a cool outfit. But let this be a lesson to you. You ain't gotta do nothing but be yourself.
Yeah, man. Like I said, she cute, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, I definitely throw them legs on my shoulder. You feel me? You know what I mean? We'll help her walk again. Yes, Lord. Yes, we will.
See that?
Let me coming in the door, man. Kicking in the door, waving the 4-4. Shout out to my man, just Dario, brother, putting the club soda on it, man. Before we even started the show, greatly appreciate you, brother, for the 50 ball.
That's $25,000 alpaca. You block that shit. Right. You don't rubble. Put the club soda on there.
Miss Fantastic, great show last night, man. Hey, brother, I greatly appreciate y'all, man. That you know, rewatch the stream once it's all done and over with, man. Appreciate you. But yeah. And they dropped her thing down in West End. I went and did a little bit of yeah, I'm sorry. Let me snitch on myself. Yeah, this was me. Hold on, let me see. So y'all can see. This me. You know what I'm saying? It's me being a little horny. Okay. If she just let the Lord use me. Okay, get right on up out that chair. Get right on up out that chair. You know what I'm saying? Moving on, the next one. Let's see. We got this one. This is interesting. So Venus Williams, all right, that is the sister of Serena that everybody seemed to have forgot about.
The virgin.
Allegedly, yeah, the alleged virgin. Even though she stated somewhere about her dealing with white boys, long time ago, when like her and Serena had just got into the thing. Yeah, what Serena's 40, got to be mid 40s by now. Definitely got to be mid 40s. 44, 45.
We talk about Serena or Venus.
Venus
Williams' age. She's 44.
Yeah, 44, because I know Serena's a little older than me. Serena's like 42 or 43, one or two.
They ain't that much. They ain't that much.
They ain't far behind. So yeah, Venus Williams is sparking potential romance rumors with actor Andre Preti. Do you know what it is? I don't know who that guy is. After they were spotted together in a boat in Italy. Yet again, man, just the trend of, you know, hey, if he white, he right. She's not looking, you know, happy or whatever at all. Maybe this is just a point in the thing, you know, of her. But ain't no big smiles, ain't no nothing. But of course, everybody's, you know, smiles for her and, you know, all this great stuff because she got her white man. She got her white man.
I don't know why people. Okay, so we gonna have a black generational will talk. I don't give a fuck how this make y'all feel, but them, Kamala Harris, like they all riding the same fucking wave, right? The same way you can feel like a black male can take it out. Most times, black women tend to lean and cling to their community. So with them having black will, that's just as dangerous because we know that children is going to be exposed to more times often white people. Now, with that being said, when it comes to Serena and Venus, I can genuinely say like neither one of them stayed and was raised in a black culture. By the time Serena was 12, they was already in private school. They was already in country clubs and shit like that. So to be honest, even Serena dating like Common, her ass dating Drake, like dating Drake is probably as realistically speaking, that's probably as normal as it probably got for her. Because ain't no telling what type of men that they actually have dated that people don't know about that's high profile. But them dealing with white men should not come as a surprise to nobody, especially if you watch King Richard. They've been out of Compton for years. They don't even talk to the other side of the family.
Yeah. I think one of the sisters actually got a story or whatever. Because
they don't like their dad, real life. he was, and you can respect him all you want or whatever, but simply because of the strength of what he did for them. But when he got with their mom, he neglected his other family. They didn't exist to him. Now
Yeah,
I
that's
know
the
that
point that came out in the smoke out
Venus
yesterday.
and Serena went back and like they knew of like their other siblings or whatever. And you know, at one point in time, it could have been them trying to make a relationship, but realistically speaking, them girls was raised like we in a 2-parent household, and all the girls in this household are the only girls we know about. That's how they was raised.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole situation, man, and like I said, we'll juxtapose that later on. We talk about Simone Biles and her husband. Now this one right here, man. Listen, if it's one person that I would steer clear of in any type of motherfucking internet beef, is this lady right here.
I
Okay?
already knew it.
Yeah, I can't. I listen. You got roasters and you got cussers. Okay, when it comes to
She a
professional,
bull.
listen, but a cusser though, elite, supreme prime cussing.
Yes.
Again, she got the jokes, but the way she mixed them cuss words up in there with it, yeah, man, you got it. Yeah,
And
throwing the
she's
towel,
so
throwing the
fucking
damn
good
towel.
with automatopoeia and rhyming.
Yeah,
And to be honest, the way that bitch good with automatopoeia and rhyming, and she would have came out and told us she helped Rick Ross write.
hey,
Believe
I
it.
believe it.
I
Hey,
would
we'll believe
actually
it.
believe her because her keen. I'm gonna say something about Tia Kemp that I don't think a lot of people pick up on. This woman is intelligent. You may not like her behavior, but no, she's really a fucking intellectual. People who have a keen sense of ability to mitigate words in a different manner, the way their brain works, just off the rip like that, that's a high sign of intelligence. She's very much so a fucking intellectual.
Yeah, man, that onomatopoeia, that alliteration. Shout out to parents for
Oh,
bringing back. See, people that pay attention in elementary school English. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these folks don't know nothing about their parents. They don't. They look
rhyme
right
and
past it.
alliteration, onomatopoeia.
Yeah,
She's very, very
yeah.
freaking good.
Oh, Jesus! Charles in here. Where he at? Girl, don't where Charles at?
She got ready so fast. Look at her face. Look at her face. What
Stop
Charles?
it! Hey, stop everything. Well, where you at? Well,
Oh, Jesus.
I
Charles
wish
in
a
here.
Charles would. Charles who brown? Charles don't want this. Charles, I know he jumped up this morning with his unbuttoned his faja and came back over here.
unbutton his faja.
It came back over here.
Not unbutton his
He
faja.
come over here and started fucking around. And what's crazy is he was actually in her live giving her gifts. He's so damn slow.
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they said.
This Alexa! Alexa, pause the music. I tried to give him Jesus' as daddy wrote. Alexa, the devil is a lie.
Devil is a Liar by Colton Dixon.
No, not that one. Alexa, play The Devil is a Lie by Rick Ross.
The Devil is a Lie by Rick Ross, featuring Jay-Z on Amazon.
Now you will get the business, baby. Well, where? Where you at? Oh, let me get my joint. Huh? Huh? Where you at? Come on. I'm going to double up on it, baby. I'm waiting on him.
So he never showed up. I guess he said something. Hey, like you say, start giving the gifts and shit, and so on and so forth. But the back and forth she had, I guess I was trying to find the one with her and Netta, Mr. Netta, not no goddamn that atrocity.
No ass. You talking about Big Joe, Big Back Joe,
Listen,
the one that look like Pirelli ties in the face.
I cannot stand that damn man.
The one that look like some concrete getting laid, some fresh gravel.
Yeah, horrible. I don't know how they got into it, but that shit right there was epic. She
I genuinely don't
flambéed.
know how they got into it either, because Joe had just filmed with Netta and Charles. With Netta, wait, they the same people. Joe had just filmed with Tia, Carlissa, and Tokyo Tony on the Young T podcast. But I don't think Joe really been getting a lot of love as much as he was getting. I ain't even gonna say love. I'm gonna say enablement as he was getting when he came out and said that white women were smarter than black women.
Oh.
Ain't that some shit to say when your whole fucking fan base ain't nothing but black women?
Yeah, that's wild. That's a bad gamble. Now, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Dame Dash Steak and Rockefeller Records will be auctioned off by the feds later this month. TMZ reports that Dame Dash 33.3% interest in the label will be sold by the U.S. Marshals at public auction in Manhattan on August 29th. And I think they're saying it is valued at something like $800,000. Not a lot of money on the scale for the money that they made. Let me see. Does it say? It'll tell us how much it is. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, 800,000. So hold on, 1 over 800,000. So no, yeah. The minimum bid for the state cannot be less than 1.2 million. So pretty much like 1.2 million is pretty much the value of it. So if you want to own a piece of rap history, legacy,
you can so.
Yeah, you can win. You know what I'm saying? With Dame Dash. What's your take on Dame, man? I just feel like
about personally or
just him as a character
or person.
And what we know.
To be honest with Dame, I genuinely feel like who he is to hip hop gets overshadowed so much because of his persistence to show people Jay-Z has a bad character. And that to me, after a while, like to me, that ain't no different than a person from high school trying to tell you, oh, I know Paris. I went to school with her. No, you don't. I haven't been in high school in over 10 years. You don't know the thing about me. And that's genuinely how I feel about Dame Dash. Just like, could I respect who he is as a person in the industry or people who were like way back, you know, with Bad Boys or with Rockefeller, with like, you know, any black content back then or any black, you know, record label back then, I could respect you for you knowing the upbringing or you being around for historical moments or you being a huge contributor for it. But once you make every time we hear you speak, the only thing you care about is down in another person. At some point, even if you have validity to what you say, you start to just sound like another hating ass nigga.
Yep.
Even if I mean, me personally, I already know Jay-Z raunchy. I already know Jay-Z shiesty. This a motherfucker who will stab a nigga quick. You know, he'll sell drugs to his family member. Like, that don't, like, he may be removed from having to do those things, but that don't change his trajectory to know if he needs to, he will. Like, nothing in me makes me feel like if you approach Jay-Z 6 foot plus ass and you try to swing on him and he was in a vulnerable state without security, he would fuck you up. Like, he still got it in him. It don't change. But at the same time, it's like Dame Dash, Jay-Z has been more of a pivotal name and staple in hip hop, faster and far more progressive than you. And you had more of the head start to the business. So at this point, even though you keep looking at Jay-Z like he's your peer, he's no longer your peer, nigga. And secondly, nothing that Jay-Z did from this moment on should prohibit you from being successful. And in a simpler fashion, it's the same comparison to Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim. If you keep saying Lil' Kim's such this great fucking person and she deserved all of her accolades and this, that, and the third, and she paved the way for Nicki, then why the fuck, as the last 10 years, what stopped her from putting out music and succeed? And
Yeah.
that's the way I feel about Dame. Like, you are very much so a huge contributor and a huge household name, and you did put your foot into hip hop. But every time you got the opportunity to make your impact, you wanted to remind us about a beef with a nigga who's far more surpassed anything you could ever think of. So what are we doing here? And I think that this was just bound to happen solely because Rockefeller ain't been Rockefeller to hell. Sony been gone. Like record labels are just not what they are anymore. So this doesn't surprise me. I feel like Dame has enough business mind in order to like put his money in other places. But I just think that my whole ideology of who Dame Dash is has been overshadowed by the wrong things.
Yeah, well, I actually don't think he can, and this is proof of it, right? I think, like you said, he found his niche, the music thing, producer, A&R, all those different things, and that's where his genius was. But pretty much after that, everything else Dame has tried has failed. Anything outside the music business, he hasn't been able to get off. And like
Yeah.
you said, when Jay left, right, and then not only he left, he took most of the successful artists with him. They sided with Jay because they know, hey, I can stay with Dame, and Dame is just his way of doing things. And then shout out to the brother right here, like when he said this, Dame got on Breakfast Club and slandered everyday working man. Literally called any man who works for someone not a man, and said a man calling a man boss is like calling him daddy. Just for him to end up like this, there's a lesson here somewhere. Shout out to the brother for this, because it's like, as they say, um uh, pretty much like interesting ending, right? Tragic ending for you to set this up yourself, because
I
you
didn't even
refuse to
know
work.
that.
Yeah, before you refused, because you refused to work for someone and you feel like you always had to be the man. This is why Dame where he is now, because he can't see himself working as anyone subordinate. He sees himself as this. He has to be in charge. He has to be the boss. He has to be the owner. But everything you've tried after that has failed. Simply why? Because of that reason. And
And I'm gonna be honest, if you don't feel kind of pivot, make the correlation, I'll try to be brief with this. This is no different than a man trying to say he's a leader, because it's the same egotistical mindset behind it. You can be a leader, but if you've never known how to play for a team, or if you've never known how to take feedback from the people that you have to lead, if you don't know how to implement compromise or have less of an ego to make your decisions all based off of you instead of the betterment of the overall issue, you're gonna fail. You can be on top for a very long time, but if you don't know how to take feedback, take criticism, be open-minded, and you don't know how to play for a team or even take a step back and let somebody else take the lead in certain arenas, you're gonna fail.
I know we got some New Yorkians in here. I'm saying New Yorkian on purpose, but New Yorkers, man, in here, y'all go try to take up for your mans, but I gotta get in the habit of doing this to show y'all, man. And I know all these things aren't accurate, right? But clearly, like you said, Dame's nowhere near his heyday and his prime. Okay,
Nowhere.
60 million is what his net worth was back in his what's the name. He has almost lost all of his wealth due to poor investments and costly divorce. As I told you, everything Dame has tried post Rockefeller has failed. Okay, that's not my opinion. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the facts. You can look at it and see it. And like you said, he did all these press runs, and he had tried to have you can't live off your past, bro. That
No.
shit is, those days are over with. Especially today when everything has to be new, everything has to be fresh, everything has to be quick. For the time he had it, late 90s, early 2000s, cool, fine. But like you said, Jay already knew what it was, bro. Once they made Jay the president of Rockefeller Records or whatever, and then he went off and made Rock Nation, Rockefeller was dead. When he made Rock Nation and separated from separated himself from Rockefeller Records, bro, is over with. And now you can't even get any residuals or anything off what you would have had, because they're making you sell your stake. So all those royalties and things that you would have been
Because
getting,
he wouldn't have done that.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
But
hey, man,
like you said, you can't live off your past. And I think that even now today, he could have jumped in the league and had something far ahead and better and greater with just simply making a small microcosm of a record label while he had the money and the backing and the resources to do so. Had he done that, he could have easily jumped on TikTok influencers and shit like that who were trying to be rappers, or there was that one era where you had people just doing runs, like when Avery Wilson created the whole trend for the Usher Superstar run. Like, you had so much talent in so many ways you could have went about this to stop this from happening, but it's his ego. And I feel like there's a lot of New Yorkers, but Dan Dash specifically, like, he has a ego problem, and it's bad.
Clearly.
You can't be told nothing, bro. And it's like, you're not gonna make longevity like that.
Hey man, I told y'all, leave Frontier, leave Spirit, leave them alone. There's nothing but bad things, man. Frontier flight was canceled as the pilot was arrested before takeoff due to an outstanding warrant for assault family violence. 45-year-old Seymour Walker was removed from flight 3195 before takeoff due to the outstanding warrant for assault family violence. Law enforcement timed the arrest for when flight 3195 reached its assigned gate at George Bush International Airport around 4 p.m. Officers boarded the empty plane and took the pilot into custody without any problems. Passengers who were going to board flight 3195 were offered a full refund, credit, or spot on the next available flight.
That would piss me off so bad.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. Two things. This is why, and we don't know if this is true or if it's just an allegation, bro. That's why I tell y'all, man, bro, if shit ain't working, get out of there. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's get to the point of where you got to put hands on and whoop her ass, or, you know what I'm saying, you think she can call the police and claim you whooped her ass and she didn't, bro, get out of there, bro.
Yeah.
The days of where we gonna stay with it and stick with it regardless, bro, that shit, listen, those times
it don't work like that no more. It's too and not even because of women's ability to have the resources to help them out or even lie through it, simply because you just shouldn't want your children placed in an environment like that. Like, just simply off the strength of, you shouldn't want to be in an environment like that. How about that? Like, I think we always try to mitigate it and go back to the children and try to use them as a weapon to emotionally, vindicate our circumstance. But, sometimes it takes for you to be like, bro, even if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't want nobody treating me like this.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying, man. Listen, bro, I don't ever want to be cause of motherfuckers' happiness, and you're not finna be the cause of my goddamn misery either. Listen, if the shit not working, man, hey, let's just move on. Hey, take whatever you know what I'm saying? It's a lesson, not a loss. More so, hey, we had good times or whatever it was, but if we can't move forward and get past whatever the issue may be, or just this constant thing of stagnation and where we're always arguing, we're always unhappy. Yeah, man, you just move past it. Even like I say, even in marriage.
If you can seek counsel, if you can seek therapy just for minor disagreements, or y'all just found y'all self in a place where you can't get past the constant bickering and nagging. If you can seek therapy to help with that, to the communication problem, I recommend it. Hell, if you got to do a legal separation just off the strength of y'all can't get past bickering and arguing, I recommend it. But once it starts getting to the point of violence, where she just feel like simply because you hurt her feelings, her hands can be her form of communication, or you feel like you're at the point where you finna start whacking upside the head because you're just that frustrated, it don't ever need to go that far.
Yeah, nah, get out of there, brother. Get out of there. Now, this one right here. So I saw this when it first got talked about, and I was like, what are they talking about? I just thought it was like, another skit or some shit or something. But apparently this really happened, to where the nurse posted the my card.
I seen all of it. You want me to tell it?
Yeah, you got it. There we go. We gonna
Okay,
you want me to play it
first? No, let me tell it first, because I don't give a fuck about what he's saying. I actually know the
oh, you know who he is?
No, okay. I don't know him. I know the people in the. I know people related to the people in the situation.
Okay.
So what happened was, the girl who is working at UAMS, which is like one of the bigger hospitals in Little Rock in the state, she decided to take the my chart of another girl and post it in her close friends because of a nigga. Well, the girl's my chart indicated that she was in the hospital for having a miscarriage. So she had to have a small procedure due to her having a miscarriage. It was some complications with the baby. Both of the girls are in the medical realm. Both of the girls work in, you know, one of the girls is RN, the other girl, she works as somewhere in the medical industry. And what happened was she ended up catching her at work and whooped her ass. But that's the basis of the story. It wasn't like no STD or shit. But all this happened over a man. It did happen over a fucking man. And she basically went out of her way to post it in her close friends. Somebody that was in her close friends sent it to
the girl. Yeah. Wow. See, look, I told you, hey, fellas, that's why you gotta always.
Don't let every man hit the bottom of your vagina, the root of your vagina.
But they don't know about the bottom. They don't know about the bottom.
Yeah.
She said it was so good, she had to lose her job and take her ass whooping.
Oh no, she said the dick was so good that as she started rocking, she just got into it, and all of a sudden she said something just hit her, bam, all upside his head, just slapped him. Dick will make you slap somebody.
And lose your job and career. And to the girl that and what I thought it was a funny thing, she posted a picture of her like missing a lash and pretty much captioned it, just got my ass beat or whatever. So like, I don't even know, but
she was trying to make fun of the situation, which is cool. But when you realize, like, first of all, the nursing, first of all, UAMS is the best hospital in fucking Arkansas. Like, the best hospital in Arkansas. For you to even get to work in there as a registered nurse, you fucked up. You fucked up, right? I don't think that was funny. Now, the girl who beat her ass, to me, she ain't beat her ass good enough. She did catch an assault charge, but she still intends on pursuing to press charges against the hospital because her safety was compromised and her medical business was out. Y'all hire somebody who recklessly broke the law on y'all account.
Yeah, that's gonna be an easy settlement. Whatever she can, like you said, it's proof and it's there. So yeah, they're gonna break.
She got the assault charge, bitch. I'll take the assault charge.
Yeah, yeah. But the only thing though is if she works in that hospital too, that's gonna hurt her. I don't think she.
No, she doesn't work at that hospital, but she does work in. Both of these girls work in the medical industry.
Medical field. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, even if she got fired, she has her license. Oh, girl, don't got no license, and she's pretty much banned.
To be honest, the way Little Rock is, them bitches wouldn't have been working at the same hospital together, and that would have went on that long. She wouldn't have even had her in the room or had her knowing that she was there. I'm more than certain what happened was she got wind or she seen that girl was in there because she happened to be in her area and went and looked her shit up. I'm more than certain that's what happened, because when you work in certain industries, right? Once you hear somebody in a certain area, like I work in the insurance industry, even if you ain't got no accident, I can literally just search your information as long as I know your first and last name and the city you stay in. I can find your social security number. I can find everything that's ever been associated with you. And I feel like that's what happened. She heard that girl was in the fucking hospital, recklessly used her privilege and access some information she shouldn't have had access to.
Now this one right here. Good old Dr. Umar. And this is from Suki Hana's page.
They're not dating. Suki has a boyfriend. Dr. Umar has 2 wives.
Paris, I'm sick and tired of Umar. Umar doing everything but opening this goddamn motherfucking school. Sick of it.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like he can try. First of all, I like Suki. I think Suki's beautiful. But I feel like he can try to state his purpose of loving and embracing Black women without trying to do it using the most extreme version of characterization of Black women. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no, I think he also trying to he trying to make her the third wife. He don't give a damn. Umar is a
I
freak ass.
genuinely do feel like he is trying to make her a third wife. I just don't think Suki would go for that.
No.
No, she's not gonna. She's not that type of girl. She's not at all.
And he
Because
definitely doesn't fit her archetype.
he likes her. He likes Suki. She
But
cooks.
yeah,
She, she gonna do whatever under the sun. She definitely a little freak ball. But I think he likes her presence and her aura.
yeah, I think he trying to find out about all that ass eating stuff that you be talking about. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Yeah, in Paris says that Suki is beautiful. Suki is not beautiful to me.
That's
Suki,
fine. I know a lot of people don't care for how I like her. I like her.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine for people to have their reasons to not like her. Now I can say I don't like things that Suki does, and I don't like things about her, but her personality, I like her. I think she's pretty.
I was gonna cover the whole baddies thing, but I couldn't because it had titties and ass flying everywhere. So
Cover the what?
the baddies footage to where I guess they had like a new baddies thing going, and it was just like
Bro, that shit's so fucking ghetto. That makes me so mad. Like y'all really going out y'all way to try and be on a streaming service. So much so to the point where you get to an audition, you don't even get to audition. You just start brawling. Like, is that really what you want to be known to be on TV for? I just know how to fight.
That's what niggas want to be on there for.
That is fucking wild to me. Like, at all of these auditions, they have heavy ample security because imagine you actually trying to go somewhere, get a check or get a little popularity, and a bitch just hit you out the blue just because she trying to impress them to get on the show. Well, bitch, we finna get thrown out. Shit.
Now, King, no, damn, I was about to say King Von. I was about Fulio, man. They done caught all of the people involved. And this happened right here in Jacksonville for you guys. If you can't, right?
He's fine. Crawl towards me. Bro, come on. Keep crawling. Keep crawling. Crawl towards me. Drop that book now. Drop the book.
The first 3 people they arrested was kicking it in the house.
Say again?
The first 3 people they arrested was kicking it in the house together.
Yeah. 2 dudes and a girl.
And the girl was the one who set them up. She was at the very first location.
Yep. Again, man, y'all got man. These is always listen, man. Man's biggest downfall gonna be a piece of pussy, bro. And that's what they said. They said she followed him to every location. She knew once she was at the first one, she pretty much, I guess, kept tabs on them or whatever as far as going around seeing where they were.
Because the very first location, from my understanding, they had already had the police called there, shut them down. They ain't had no choice but to move to another location. And that's how they ended up at the hotel. And at the last minute from the Airbnb situation. But can I also say I'm happy that she's getting charged? Because it's too many times where it's a bitch who will do a setup and she'll be a culprit in the midst of some fucking shit and she getting off. She definitely deserved to be charged because these hoes need to stop playing in men business.
Yeah, that's I think one of the ones that went viral a couple years ago, where the girl tried to set the dude up and they hopped out, but he laid him down. He shot both of the dudes.
The football player.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a football player. This was actually on tape. I know what you're talking about that situation too, but I think this one was actually recorded.
Oh, it's something different.
Yeah, but yeah, that too. Listen, man, like hey, shoot, hey, like Charleston White say, shoot the motherfucker with the camera, shoot the bitch that started up.
Shoot all of them.
But yeah, man, Fulio, And dude was threatening, you know, self-harm, self-deletion, all this stuff, la la la. Listen, man, all that shit end up being the same way. That's why I say, bro, I'm glad I stayed my ass on the porch and on the sidewalk, and I got to watch all of you silly niggas play out in the street and get ran the fuck over, locked up, and whatever else.
I also say that footage was crazy. I think that's the first time I ever actually watched footage of like a celebrity actually getting harmed and was like really intrigued by it. Cause I don't typically watch shit like that. But that shit looked like it was a fucking movie the way they set it up. They had everybody running around all the perimeters ready to shoot them.
Yeah, man. That's why I gotta be careful out here, bro. Keep your head on the swivel. Pay attention, paying attention to you, like all that shit, man. Because like you said, they and the crazy part about it, like the cameras caught everything. That's another thing too. I don't think people understand how much we're just being surveilled.
Yeah.
Like,
Cameras caught everything.
yeah,
Every
yeah,
angle. They caught
yeah,
them going to hide in the bushes. They caught
yeah.
them coming from the both sides of the hotel. They caught when the Fulio now was actually getting in the car. It was two different cars. They caught what car he was getting in. Like, these hotels would tell you they can't release footage. They actually can. They hold all of that shit because they be trying to make sure that if it's something that incriminates them, they can clear it, which is why they don't like giving it to the general public.
Indeed. Now this one right here is wild, man. And again, RP to Sonia Massey, I think it was Miss Massey. But this is the stuff I'll be talking about, right? That people don't want to add like is the other side of this. And this happens way more than the other, right? Now the wonderful thing is again that cop was charged with first degree murder. That's the first cop I've seen in some time. First degree murder is premeditated, pretty much, but he's going to jail. Okay, I don't think for the most part, I think he's probably go plead out. I doubt he even really goes to trial. He doesn't have support of even the police union. Nobody is supporting him in you know, in his actions, his heinous, grievous, evil, deviant actions, you know, to take that woman's life and then threaten to do it before he did it. So yeah, but at the same time, like you said, this right here is the other side of that.
White Chevy Trax, no plates, like that. 4 times wanted for an armed robbery, carjacking, District 1.
And another thing, man, listen, bro, just pull over, dog. Bro, I don't think people understand for the most part. People get away from the police all the time. No, they don't, bro.
No, they don't. Most people are not outrunning the police.
No, they don't. You're not.
No,
You're not. You are not. Especially if we talking once you start taking off and there's guns involved or violent crime and so on and so forth. And these motherfuckers are hyped for that. Okay, they take driving courses specifically for this defensive and offensive driving. Okay,
the cars are set for it. They cars are strictly for utility to sustain shit. Like, don't get me wrong, they get tore up, but we just had that situation in Dallas with similar situation. It was a theft vehicle, and it was a nice ass GMC truck, and it ran over one of the police vehicles, and immediately it's like they're prepped for shit like this. Don't just go to jail, bro.
Yeah, just go to jail.
It's so much easier in less time if you just go to jail.
Just go to jail, man. Just go to jail. You know what I'm saying? You do it. Majority of you niggas gonna get caught up anyway, man. Just go to jail, bro. Don't waste your time.
I don't know how it is anywhere else. I know it's not like this in Arkansas, but in Texas, even if you got a warrant out for your arrest, even if you move, they get your updated information in their system.
All right, continuing northbound, 43 north, passing Keith. 3233. Let's see if they're going to be blocked by construction equipment here.
Imagine being the construction workers though right now. Imagine that shit. Your work day just got all fucked up. Tell them to stop. Tell them to stop. They ram the car, trying to back out.
You're not going nowhere.
You're not going nowhere. And there it goes.
And it's fucked up because the other people who be in the car really don't be having nothing to do with it. Like, I'm not driving, I'm just here.
Hey man, hey, be aware of the car you motherfucking hop in, man. I be telling my you have to tell your kids that, you know what I mean, that too. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, hey man, listen, be careful about who you ride with and who riding with you. If you know they on some shit or anything that's on and so forth, bro, don't come over here with that shit, because that can literally cost you your life, your freedom, or who knows. So
because then the police don't have a choice but to assume that you're privy to the knowledge, or they don't have a choice but to assume that, like, you can't just put yourself in the car with anybody, because hell, it ain't no different than fucking trying to go somewhere with somebody to an event. You on their time. So whatever happened, if you roll with them, you inheriting their beef. If you roll with them, you inheriting when they get ready to leave. If it's their car, they get drunk, they're careless. You attached to all of that. So you got to be careful about all that shit.
Yeah, man. And that's the crazy part of it. See what's next. Now this right here, man. Well, I don't know if I want to say that one for the end. I'm gonna say those two in. So this right here. So Simone Biles one that started, right? Simone Biles did the thing or whatever, she won, and their black job thing. People hopped on the black job situation, black women especially or whatever. I love my black job.
Actually, no, they had a black creator, a black male creator who went to TikTok, and he got a whole trend with nothing but black men who are in like good realm jobs. It's a whole trend of them doing nothing but talking about their black job.
Okay, cool. This is my black job. What is yours? Ebony J. Hilton, MD, anesthesiologist, and shout out to her, man. I don't think if you ever had surgery, bro, the anesthesiologist is way, like, probably the most important person there.
Yeah.
All right, and the level of math they have to do, they have to calculate your weight, your blood type, your metabolism, all this stuff. How long is the procedure supposed to take? What's involved? All these. So shout out to the anesthesiologist. But pretty much, like I said, man, I think people took the black jobs thing the wrong way because they looked at it from a racial lens more so than the political standpoint and the mathematical standpoint of it. Any job can be a black job. No one is, right. And when they were saying the thing about illegal immigrants taking black jobs or things like that, they were saying for the specific areas that those people go to. Namely, and we see this, Chicago, New York are complaining about it right now. What the companies do is that they're able to hire those people at extremely, extremely low rate. Because you got to understand, bro, your money is 20 to 1. So 5 American dollars is motherfucking 100 pesos. You know what I'm saying? Then you get into this thing where they illegally hire these people and they pay them under their table with just cash, and they're cool with that because to them, that's the most money they've ever seen in their life. So you have situations to where instead of paying the local people and hiring the local people, they're going to hire the illegal immigrants that they can just pay under the table, which again, that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's money they save in so many different ways because you're having a reduction on labor, and then the reduction on labor and the way you file your taxes and all the different stuff and whatnot, what have you. You don't have to provide them with any type of insurance or coverage. They don't have their legal right or whatever. Hey, it's just, hey, I don't know how this, this Mexican dude got back here in the kitchen. He is whatever, right? So that's what we're saying, man. When the black jobs things come up, we have to get out of this emotional lens of it being said and understand the repercussions of what it is, because again, just like we have a black unemployment rate, right? We have a black employment rate. We have a black annual average salary. So why is it an issue and problem when you simply say black job?
Can I be objective about it and not be like I'm not
Yeah.
going to be a contrarian with you because I actually agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the issue is the fact that it has to be explained is where it caused the problem. You get what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
fact that it was something stated and there was misinterpretation off of the statement alone, and then we never actually got any type of correction from the political person that said it. That's where the issue lies. So now it's Black people who are in higher positions feeling like the because we're always being minimized, but also a lot of us are so innately wanting to be impressed. What it sounded like was now you're trying to say that these are jobs only stereotypically associated to Black people, and then that's when the people who were very much so in higher status profile positions started to feel like they had to step up to the plate and say, well, no, a Black job can be anything. But
Yeah.
I do genuinely agree with everything you said because I understand it, but I also can understand in the middle of the moment of where it came from, what was being said, and both parties trying to characterize or speak to the Black vote, why it got misinterpreted. I also understand that because I heard it. I understand politics, but I think it was more so one of them situations where you and somebody else is arguing and a third party name get brought up and then they go, why the fuck am I in it? What I do? But you wasn't trying to bash the other person. You were using them as a way of making your argument stronger. And that's essentially what happened. Like Biden and Trump were arguing. They used Black people as an example. And then when Black people didn't hear what they wanted, it became like to them an attack.
Yep. And that's like I said, the ease the ease of being offended, man. Again, like I said, I think it just holds us back in so many things. But definitely, man. Again, shout out to all the Black professionals out there. It's Black lawyers, it's Black entrepreneurs, it's Black doctors, it's Black business owners, it's
We
Black
know all of this
billionaires,
stuff.
millionaires. Yeah. So
And
again,
I
man,
feel
like
like
I
a lot of
think
Black people are always trying to prove how intellectual we are or how well off we are or trying to denounce poverty from Blackness. But I'm going to be honest, if you keep trying to denounce poverty from Blackness, but this is just in the sense of making the example, I don't give a fuck who you're voting for, but you keep associating Donald Trump to being Black off of him not paying his bills, being a baby daddy, getting shot at, going to jail, then you make the argument a fallacy. You
yeah,
can't
exactly.
do both.
Yeah, exactly. You can't want people to respect you for your intellect and all these different things, but then you associate white people with the worst caricatures and
For
stereotypical
Black
activities of Blacks. Exactly.
or
Yeah.
even Jasmine Crockett. You want her to be seen as this intellectual, but her visual aesthetic is more so relatable to your everyday average Black woman. So it's like, does intellectualism from Black people look a certain type of way? Or are you always saying that we're always ghetto, but we can be smart? You can't have it both ways.
Now I'm not gonna show this next one, man. I'm just go. I'll talk about it. Right, it's a tragic thing I just seen, and I did the research, and it actually happened a while back, but I never heard anybody talk about it until I seen this thing, and I did the research. So back 4 months ago in Houston, a little girl was ran over by an Uber driver as she got out of the car. People pay attention to your kids, man, and don't you. So what happened was it was a family, and it was like a mom and like 3 different kids and the smallest kid. And I'm not blaming the child because it's a child, but the kid got out of the car on the opposite side of the mother. She let the kid exit the car with the other kid. You can see the older kid walk in front of the car with her head down on her phone, not even thinking anything about it. And then the 1-year-old, because she's the smallest, she has a littlest legs, and she's just trying to follow, the person she's with. comes around, and then the driver, unfortunately, you know, runs her over, and you know, she died. Pay attention, man. I learned this. One of the things about being a parent, or even having like little kids, nieces, nephews, stuff like that, bro. You have to be aware, and you as the adult are responsible. Do not leave it up to another child. Do not just assume. It's the negligence of parenting, bro. Nowadays, I see it, and you know what I'm saying, I try my best not to overstep. If, of course, something is blatant, I'll step in there and prevent the situation, or so and so forth, or bring it to the attention. But it's just, bro, that parenting, the quality of parenting is down so much, and distractions,
It
you know,
is.
phones, tablets, and you know, all these different things, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, man, it's my job. Okay, I'm supposed to kill and die for my kid if necessary. You know what I'm saying? But it's far too many other things that people got going on nowadays. They're not paying attention. And unfortunately, a little girl lost her life, man. So just make sure this is like, you know, a public service announcement. If you got little kids with you, you know what I'm saying, in your care, be attentive, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Kids will wander off. They'll, you know what I'm saying, walk out things. They don't understand danger. And just, you know what I'm saying, do your best to you know, make sure they're, because this could have been prevented. And the only person, again, I'm not really, you know, going too hard, but it was clearly the mother's fault, because the whole setup of the situation was wrong. There's no way that you should ever have a child get on the opposite side of the car than you get out of, especially a small child. We talking like a toddler that starting to walk, under 2 years old. So yeah, man, you know, we got to be aware of those things, and you know, just adjust accordingly.
Yeah, I agree. And only thing that I can say, because I think everything else is being said, is to reiterate: it's not of the children's responsibility to be the overseer and caretaker of younger children. It's always on the adult.
Indeed. Now this one right here, man, and this is weird because I'm still trying, and I didn't find this out. And you know what? You know what's crazy was like, white girls don't like this white girl. They do not. They do not like her. They do not like her. They do not like
Is that who you're talking about?
her. Yeah, Hawk Tour.
They do not
Yes,
like.
they do not like her. And I really think black women should take a playbook out of this, because again, just like you say, the optics and what it is, right? Now, again, it's a little bit of jealousy, I think, too, because it's like this girl simply went viral on a clip. So now she done moved, she done dropped her whole life, moved to LA, got a publicist and a agent and all this stuff, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, bro, she's sitting down with fucking Bill Maher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's
Yeah.
sitting down with Bill Maher. Right? One of the longest running, like, you know what I'm saying, media personalities, like, forever. And she's having a conversation. And shout out to the brother when we talked about this the first time, Paris. I forget what his name was. But bro, she ain't sucked not damn penis. She
And
ain't
what's
busted
crazy
it
is
open.
other girls, if they would have gotten in that position, the first thing they would have did was start an OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But I know you keep saying black girls should take something away from this. They already have. Because you know who is more so the same in relation to her, but just
Who?
simply being themselves? The Home Depot girl.
Oh, but they didn't like her. She was wholesome.
That's what I'm okay. So you right. This girl, the hot tub girl, just went viral for simply just saying something, right? White girls do not like this girl at all. The Home Depot girl, a regular Christian girl who just love God and just go to work, and people were like, "You should get that," and she was like, all the girls was like, they none of the girls like her. So basically,
Yeah,
I'm saying, like, both of them obviously very fucking smart. Even though the hot tub girl went viral for something that could be, it's salacious, right? Everything that she's doing outside of her viral moment is not salacious at all. It's very intelligent. It's very business minded. She's very calculated, and she's going the right path. That other girl, the Home Depot girl, the moment that she got her viral moment, she became literally a fucking lifestyle influencer, and she don't even work at Home Depot no more.
Oh, where I didn't know that. I didn't keep up with it. I know.
All she did was take that fucking platform, and she went and just between TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube This is how she's paying her way through school. First thing they said was, oh, you should get an OnlyFans, because I seen some white girls talking about her, and they was like, bitch, just get an OnlyFans like everybody else does and get out of our face. That's kind of like basically what they said she should do too. And she didn't do that. So I think it is a little bit jealousy, because the moment that they got validation for their pretty or being sexual, most women lean into it. Those two girls never leaned into it. They went the opposite way, but they still catapulted themselves and turned it up to where they're still successful.
Indeed. Where is this at? Hold on, let me find it. Now, this one right here. Well, what's your take on this one? And I thought I did, but I didn't. Here we go. So let me hear. I want to see what's your take on this right here. Is this too far? Is this candid? Is this a nice little funny moment between a husband and wife and a man just being a man, being open and honest, or is this disrespectful? I need your expertise in this situation. 1 second.
We built this, boo. For real, me and you. I wish I did it back then, but I just wanted you back. I just wanted to hit back then. I ain't gonna hold you. I seen you. I ain't gonna hold you. You walked on the boat 2009. I saw you, little dark skin thing. And I'm like, yo, who was that?
Don't start the bullshit. Twitter. I'm on Twitter.
But you know what? I usually crack a Tracy smile and they come running. It took time.
As it should.
It took real time. We built it.
So was that disrespectful? This for him admitting the fact of the matter that, hey, like all men, 99.99999% of men, he wanted a sexual encounter with this woman, but it blossomed into
the way you said it, and I didn't take it the way that everybody else was fake outraged about it on Twitter said it. How I took it was, this is her husband. She knows his personality. If she didn't know what he was capable of saying, or already probably had this conversation with her, she wouldn't have married him. They wouldn't even be at the altar. So I don't, first of all, it's your motherfucking wedding. I feel like the response from the audience spoke to his personality that everybody in the room already fucking knew. And everybody saying he shouldn't have said that was fake outrage. Like, everybody said, oh, he could have saved the speech, or me and him wouldn't get married, or I would have called out the wedding to me.
I would have walked down the aisle. I would have walked out.
You are not calling off your wedding in the moment because somebody said something that you feel like could have made you feel shame in front of your family. But we also see where it's a wedding picture, or a video of a wedding couple, and they tonguing each other down in front of everybody. And the first thing you're going to say is, oh, this is my wedding. If they don't like it, they can leave. So you cool with you doing some real nasty kissing and fondling in front of your family. But him saying, man, when I first met you, I ain't never think we was going to be down the aisle. I just wanted to fuck. That's too much.
And that's men. That's how men work, ladies. Listen, baby. I want that pussy first, okay? When I first lay eyes on you, I'm trying to get inside of you, okay? It's up to you to make me want more than that. You got to show me that personality. You got to show me that nurturing, that caring, that affection, that, you know what I'm saying, that humor. You know what I mean? That humility, that femininity. You got to show me all that extra shit, baby, that make me choose you. For real, for real. First and foremost, again, you already know what we came here for. What we talking about, man? Why we playing like this? I don't understand how grown-ass women play like this. You know what I'm trying to do to you.
Don't try to make me take all that dick at one time.
Slow and easy.
He said, don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. I would not rush all this dick up in you at one time. I'm going to take it easy on you. She said, okay, I think I can take it. So he laid down. The nigga rushed all that dick up in her.
All of it, baby.
It is the same thing that we just talked about with the black job shit. It's a situation where they already projected what you should have said on their behalf. And when you didn't say what they wanted you to say, it kind of went out the window. But no, I'm not getting offended by somebody out of bed with. And then let's even do it this way. He went from saying he only wanted to hit to making her show like he had to work for her. They completely dismissed all of that. He was like,
Exactly.
I usually I can flash a smile and every other woman fall for it, and you weren't impressed at all. And they completely overlooked that part. Like, he didn't even call her easy. He just said, you know what? When I seen you, I really wasn't even on it for real. But it's the verbiage. It's literally the verbiage. Because if he would have said, the first time I seen you and we met each other, I had a whole lot going on. I was really trying to just pass time. My life really wasn't together. We would have all understood what the fuck that meant.
So here we go. They say Paris the reason they not married no more. What's this? This your part of the show. What's your take on this? Was this inevitable? Was this just bound to happen? Is it long overdue? Or you know what I'm saying? What's your take on this?
It's hard to sustain a relationship when you're always having other people watching it. Because even like now, you got Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens. Everything that they're doing, DDG and Halle Bailey.
Yep.
People are so invested into it. They're waiting on the wrong moment. And they want to influence how you run your relationship. In this particular situation, I'm going to be candid. I genuinely think that they came from two different worlds. And as much as although she left him, although she did not leave him for cheating, it could be financial woes. It could just simply be irreconcilable differences. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to put the onus on him and say that he got locked in with her too fast, but he really didn't like her like that. And I say that because they come from two different worlds. Like, when you first realize how he got with her, he had already had a girlfriend in the, in the picture at one point in time. They were off and on, been knowing her, been dealing with her. He came out of prison famous, and then she hopped on the scene. And when she hopped on the scene, he snagged her up. And I think that she was a new, different vibe for him. She was also in the same industry, understood what he was doing. So it was kind of like chill. It was easy going. But I genuinely, me personally, I feel like the onus is on him more than it is on her. I feel like she was very infatuated with him. But I, in my personal opinion, I feel like it was a situation where he liked her for a moment, and eventually he tried to take his marriage vows very, very serious. But eventually he don't really care for who she is as a person and how she rock outside of how she is towards him. I just don't see it.
Yeah, so my take on it is, like I said, he never been in prison. He was in jail. He been locked up a couple
But
times.
yeah,
He never been in prison.
my bad.
That's what I make it clear.
But you're right.
Yeah, but I think what happened was, right, and especially like you said, because he was off and on so much, and Migos, bro, I don't think people understand just how fast Migos blew up. Like Migos has been around for a while, and they've been doing their thing for a while, underground, super underground. Then of course, Drake hopped on. Then after the Drake shit, bro, everything, everywhere. You could say, like I said, they like Bad and Bougie hit, like, bro, they were like the face of rap for a little minute.
Like, all of their albums did numbers, all of them.
In this time too, I don't think people understand, like, post, like, where down low in times, you had Apple Play had started then and all this other stuff. So you know what I'm saying, streaming and shit had started.
Tidal, Spotify had just started. All of them had just started.
So they were definitely, you know what I'm saying, had their impact, right? I think the fame just hit, and then like you said, it's Cardi B. So no matter who he was fucking with and whoever he had access to, she was at the top of rap at that time. So it's the perfect, rapper couple, power couple, all this stuff going on, so on and so forth. He chilled with her, like he said, hey man, she's cool, she fine, she attractive, she got the BBL, she popping, I'm popping, let's do this, right? But all that pussy is still right there. It ain't going nowhere. All that pussy calling him, like Pookie in motherfucking New Jack City. And he just obviously, I think he had at least 2 baby mamas before her, right? If not 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely had 2, if not 3,
he
right?
had 2 kids outside of her.
Yeah. So that part of it, and then like you said, man, touring and being here and being away, and then both of them, being at the same thing and so on and so forth. I just think, bro, like I said, for him, he's not a marrying nigga, bro. He's not a marriage type nigga. He's just not. He's not. He's never going to settle down. He's never going to be. And I'm not saying it's a fault or whatever. That's his personality trait. That's who he is. But like you said, I think he tried to do it for career. It was a career move more so than like a personal thing and so on and so forth. And it's just I think she just finally understood that like, nah, this nigga's never gonna change. He never.
That's and although you're saying it that way, I guess the way that I'm looking at it is like a Southern woman. Like when you think about the way that she behaves or how she talks or things like that, like currently she got an issue with his sister and his mama. She don't get along with neither one of them. And nobody's looking at that. All they looking at is fame, fortune, money, bitches, drugs. That's all they looking at. But nobody else is looking at the other shit that's happening. Like his sister and her gets into it all the time. Like when they first started dealing with each other, one of his kids couldn't even come around because his baby mama didn't get along with her. So it's like when you sitting there and you remove the fame and you got the regular every fucking day life with this person, I just think that they come from 2 different worlds in the way that she handled herself in such a I don't give a fuck fashion. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and bitch, I always pop off. That's genuinely not how Southern families move. I think once you take away all the fame and fortune and you just put them as normal people, and you remove all the cheating shit, because the nigga was gonna do that whether he felt like it or not. Realistically speaking, she is miserable being tied to his family because they don't like her. And I think about how a lot of times men are dealing with the power dynamics of trying to have women you love all satisfied at one time. The shit damn near impossible. You got your baby mamas, you got your mama, you got your sister, and you got your wife. You all know majority of these women got your best interest at heart, but they all want your attention. I genuinely don't think that she was in a position mentally where she could stop making him have mental anguish. I feel like that's what it was more than anything. In my opinion, I don't think that set well in his spirit. I just don't. I think that if anything, that's probably what drew him away. And I ain't talking about the cheating. I'm just talking about this nigga knack for just being able to say, man, I ain't gonna go stay in New Jersey. I'm gonna stay in Atlanta. The fact that he would even make that decision to say, I got my kids in Jersey, but shit, Atlanta, my stomping grounds. I can go to the studio in Atlanta versus me going to New Jersey. I can take a flight. When you think of a married man making that type of decision, it's more to it than this nigga just want to go get some new pussy.
Yeah. And he did the promo shit about him sleeping in the car or whatever. Y'all know this nigga's not sleeping on millionaire.
You know he's not sleeping on
no damn car. Exactly. Bro. Oh man.
He's playing into optics, which he's very fucking intelligent, because the IRS, like, soon as she filed the divorce, the IRS popped out and said he's behind on liens. It was already a story that got ahead that said him and her was in foreclosure, and they attached her name to it instead of his name. So she's like, I'm not in foreclosure. But him and her have properties together and properties separate. So she's saying, no, this is not me, but she's never saying it's not him either.
Yep.
She's just saying it's not me. So he has him having liens with the IRS. Possibly one of his homes is in foreclosure. And then he already getting divorced, but everybody know they don't stay together. He been staying in Atlanta. She don't like Atlanta. He don't like New York. So she just got a Jersey home because it's easier for her kids to go to school and shit like that. And it's closer to her getting to New York, but they don't stay together at all. And they haven't stayed together. So you're not telling me she ever cared about him cheating when they already weren't living together with kids married.
Did you know whether or not they had a prenup or not?
They
Do you
do
know?
not have a prenup.
They don't have a prenup. Okay. But yeah, she
when they got married, she was already previously, and this probably goes into it too. When they started dating, she got pregnant. When she popped out with the pregnancy, everybody was like, "Oh, she's not married. He just got her pregnant. She's not married." Well, she basically sat down and told him she didn't want to have that baby without being married. So they got married way before her daughter was even born. He basically just conformed and told her, "Cool, if this what we doing, this what we doing, I'm gonna be with you." Now I've heard some of his interviews, so I know he has very much so Southern practices and tradition when it comes to marriage. Like, this my wife, as long as she not going nowhere, I'm not going nowhere. That's his mentality. But at the same time, for her, me personally, for her, I think it has more to do with the business aspect of it, more so than anything else. Because if she was just a regular girl who was flopping, or if she had the status that Sierra had, she wouldn't give a fuck about what y'all saying about her husband or nothing he dealing with. I feel like their relationship started to affect her business moves.
So what do you think about her announcing the pregnancy on the same day she announced the divorce?
I think it was a deterioration from the situation. Me personally, I didn't want to sound like I was predicting this when I had the interaction with her. I don't root for families to fail,
of course,
at all. I genuinely believe if you can find a way to stick it out, stick it out. The way she talks about him, I know she's infatuated with him. That infatuation is still heavy. Now she may be tired of him, but she loved his dirty draws. And I genuinely think she just is trying to find a way to get rid of all of the distractions. But if you're trying to compare the pivotal viral situation between me and her down to now, here it is a week and a half later, to them getting divorced, all it was just misplaced anger. That's why I can't be mad at her. Like, in my heart, I just can't be upset with her because I know all you did was just take your anger out because you're frustrated and you're mad about other shit that you just not willing to address head on. But now she's addressing it head on. And I feel like that also is an issue with the pregnancy. Like, now I want to be able to enjoy my pregnancy because the other two was like smooth sailing for her. The first one, she had just dropped that album and she was on top of the world. The second one, him and her were so locked in. They was marketing together. They had the McDonald's deal and they was doing everything together. They was everywhere together and they was having a boy. Like, this one, man, I would wish it on nobody.
Yeah, man. Best of luck to both of them. You know what I mean? The kids or whatever, all these great things. But yeah, it's just kind of like you said, Paris Damas a little bit. Like you said, a lot of people can't tell, like, are you really coming at me or you got something else going on? And like I said, you supported her and stuff in the past, more so sided with her than came against her. So like you said, for her to pick all of those things out. But hey, it's just interesting. You never know what people really got going on in their real lives outside of, outside of social media. But best wishes to both of them. Now let's see, what's this one? Yeah, no, that one. Now I wonder, we mentioned this, right? So what's your take on this, man? How and why? Where are we at? And why and again, this was a black woman thing. Why are they so mad at this woman about being happy with her husband?
I can't even call it, bro. I can't even call it. I don't. If you've noticed, which I'm sure it's hard to do because the timeline moves so fast, I don't even speak on it
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen you say anything.
because I don't have anything to retort for. First of all, let me just put this out here, right? Even when it comes to Cardi B's situation, the only reason why he ever was brought up is simply because I just knew her soft spot. But if you're talking about Paris, the person that regular everyday person, if you're talking about marriage, the way that I think about marriage, that's not to be touched. Like, I don't have no opinion about what fits for your aesthetic. I don't have an opinion about how you maneuver. If it's your husband, that's your husband. Whatever he doing, if you okay with it, that's between you and God. So I genuinely, I guess for this situation, it's just kind of cumbersome because he's literally not doing nothing wrong but supporting her. And y'all don't even like the way that he's supporting her simply because he didn't know who she was. And to be honest, most black women don't watch sports, let alone gymnastics, unless they're involved in it. Most black women don't participate in sports at all. Most black women only give a fuck about the NBA, WNBA when it came to certain black women that they knew being famous. Bro, we ain't talked about the WNBA this much since goddamn Lisa Leslie. Do you know how long ago that's been? Lisa Leslie that was popping up
Yeah,
on the
20
party.
years.
Lisa
20
Leslie
years.
that popped up on Martin. Lisa Leslie that LA Sparks, like, bro, we haven't talked about basketball in years. Black men do not care for gymnastics. So much so to the point where when we see little boys in the hood, the first thing we say is, damn, if black men didn't want to be called gay, we'll dominate gymnastics.
Yeah, niggas been flipping since
Now,
been flipping, man.
and I'm not even holding you, bro. The only reason, and this not saying she's not the greatest in the fucking world, the only reason why Simone Biles has the title and reputation that she has is because it's not a black man who cares enough to go into gymnastics for a fucking living. Because if we had a black man doing gymnastics, the amount of agility and flexibility we see, they'd have to set new rules. They'd have to. The shit that they mad at her about wouldn't even fucking matter. It wouldn't even exist. Because we all know that little boy in the hood from the time that motherfucker was 3 years old all the way to him being 19 who can tumble his ass off. So much so to the point where they trying to give scholarships to black boys in college just for fucking tumbling, but it's always been associated with being homosexual. So I don't get it. Like, what is the issue? Because this man is on television sitting on the sidelines with other spectators taking her stats. It don't get no more supportive than that. He don't even want the spotlight, but y'all making her entire performance about him when it should be solely about how great she is doing. It shouldn't be about her hair. It shouldn't be about her age. It shouldn't be about her body. It shouldn't be about none of that.
Yeah, indeed, man. Like, and that's my thing. Like you said, she's being supported by her husband. And and the craziest part was, like, I don't know if you remember, she did an interview. She was depressed. She was going through, some mental health situations, and she talked about how not only her therapist but her husband helped her through it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for this man to clear, and there's no stories or anything of him doing anything he's not supposed to be doing. Like I said, if it was for sure, they would definitely snitch on him because they don't want them to be together. So how can you hate this? I thought this is the black love that, black women claim they want, right? Because again, the dude's a professional athlete. He's a millionaire. He's successful. Where Lux at? What Lux say? Where she at? Hold up. We got a woman here, so I got to use the woman's thing. Women say he handsome. You know what I'm saying? He a light-skinned nigga with the, the light-skinned nigga package. You know what I'm saying? So again, what more could you want, right? But again, like you said, because he didn't bend the knee and he said, "Oh, I didn't know who it was. I didn't know who she was." It's like it's this unbelievable thing. And like you said, bro, the Olympics, not just gymnastics, Paris. The Olympics only come around, every 4 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the cathletes out here, the triple jumpers, long jumpers, hell, shot put throwers. Can you tell me the last, you know what I'm saying, gold triple or medalist or even silver medalist or any medalist, the participant in the fucking shot put? Of course not, but it's an Olympic event. So like you said, the way you broke that down, man, men do not pay attention to no damn gymnastics. And that shit is definitely considered, a little questionable.
It
Even
is.
though, like,
It's
those
how
are
the stigma of it has always been homosexuality.
hey, but I tell you what, those dudes right there are the strongest motherfuckers on the planet. Okay,
They're very, very, very strong. Like stronger than people who live for a living. Stronger than them.
Yeah, upper body strength, intrinsic strength, leg strength. Do you know how much explosiveness you gotta have to be able to motherfucking launch yourself as a grown ass man off the ground and do a fucking triple somersault twist, cap off, and all this other shit on some superhero shit for real? So like you said, just some of the most phenomenal athletes on the planet, because like you said, because it's not something we chose to get into, or it's just not, it's frowned upon. A lot of black.
If Jonathan had just been another NFL player who married a white girl, this would be a whole nother mad arena. I just don't get it. Like, it's almost like it can't be nothing perfect said or done, because they're literally a famous, black, rich, wealthy, handsome couple. And they don't there's no drama around them. You can't say he's been cheating. You can't say he had no scandal. You can't even put him like on the Chloe Bailey shit. When Chloe Bailey popped out on her solo shit, stuff was fucking gone. You can't even say she did that. So she's not picking wrong. I personally don't get the mental gymnastics aside out of the being mad shit. Because even when it comes to like DDG, even if you said everything that he did bad or who he's dated, when it comes to Hallie, that nigga went up and got 12 vegan eggs to fix her breakfast while pregnant so her skin wouldn't fuck up.
Indeed. Brian, what's up with you, brother?
Happy Sunday. How are you?
Happy Sunday.
Can't complain, man. What's up with you?
Paris, I like you. I ain't gonna lie. You cool. But I have one disagreement with you for this whole entire stream. And I think it's something that once we both get into it a little bit, I believe you'll start seeing things from my perspective, because I think that I think you're a reasonable person. Aren't you though?
I try.
You know, we had a conversation about Dr. Umar not too long ago, right? You know, I sent Fantastic a clip about 2 months ago in regards to Umar Johnson, and we'll talk like his past, so to speak, right? And why he panders so much, and why he's always going at black men at the behest of melanated women, right? And the clip I sent him was Umar talked a lot about how when he was growing up in Philadelphia, I believe that's where he's from, he said that urban chicks, like kind of like hood females, they wasn't feeling him, and even kind of ridiculed him a little bit growing up, right? And this all kind of ties in. Just kind of follow along with me. So Umar is a peculiar fellow in the fact that he wears it on his sleeve that growing up women didn't like him very much, and that he really had to become successful before women started paying attention to him. And I just find it kind of funny that now that he's reached this level of obvious success, that chicks like this are who he keeps getting caught up with. Like, I don't see him, like, we know about the conscious stripper, and we know that he's been kind of getting caught up with women kind of like, fun girls, right? And you brought up how you said Sukihana was attractive and stuff. You know, to each his own. But the point I'm trying to make is this: I think the reason why Dr. Umar panders so much is because chicks like Sukihana kind of represent the chicks that she represent the women who used to ridicule him back in the day. Does that make sense?
What's the disagreement though?
Well, you said that. How can I put this? You said that, and I might have heard you wrong, but you said that she was attractive, right?
Attraction is subjective.
Yeah.
So
What
that's
draws
probably the only
dudes?
thing we
Yeah.
disagree on, because everything else that you're saying, I don't disagree with that. I genuinely feel like let me just say it like this. If you are a black man and in the basis of all of your messages, it is to reel in the black woman at the criticism of another black man, or if you are a black woman and your basis of your message is to reel in black men at the criticism of black women, you are not to be trusted, because all you are is just a attention seeking manipulator. And those people are no different than the guy who was sitting at the bar watching you being disrespected by another man, not even knowing if you actually started the entire situation, but they run into your aid. And they're looking to play on your vulnerability. That's exactly who Dr. Umar is. All of his messages are to be the Cape Town hero for black women, but you're doing that while being a baby daddy. You're doing it while having multiple broken homes. You're doing it while also having 2 wives, and they're not even legally married to you. You went out the country to do it. So at the basis of everything you're doing, you're a hypocrite. So I don't really understand where we would actually disagree, except for saying Sukihana is not attractive, but I don't fuck women. So even that don't really hold much merit in that disagreement.
Right. Maybe I misheard you on that one because I came into the stream kind of late, and
No, you didn't mishear me. It was just never said.
Okay. Yeah, I got you on that. But yeah, I just productive black men don't mess with chicks like that. And
No,
I
you
just
didn't. I'm not gonna say productive black men don't mess with women like that, because Suki is also playing a character. Now, could it be argued that part of the character she's playing, Brian, mute yourself really fast. Could it be argued that the character that she's playing goes too far, or that she's even into some of the shit that she does sexually? Yes. But if you know anything about it, you've done your research, or you intend on doing research, there are very much so old videos about her being definitely associated to being like the Crimson Red. And like, I'm talking about very spiritual, very holistic. And that other tall woman who got the fro, and she I forgot her name, but she's really a spiritual type, like that's who Suki is. And when she got famous, she started doing what the labels wanted her to do. And it's a whole video about her saying she sold her soul. Like, it's a whole video about her saying that for her to get
famous. I
famous.
remember that. That came out. That came out like 2014.
And she did all this when she was doing all of this shit, trying to get her music out and all this other shit. Suki was in a very extremely abusive relationship, like a super abusive relationship. So she's playing a character. And me knowing she's playing a character, I don't respect that. I think I've been very adamant about, I don't respect a black woman being a minstrel show trying to play into the stereotypes of black women, knowing you're super intelligent. But why I honor Suki is because of the fact you got Cardi B, you got Bad Baby, and you got Catch Me Outside, acting exactly the way people are saying Suki shouldn't act and making millions. So if anybody gonna cosplay the ghetto, you might as well let the person you stereotype cosplay it.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we can agree on that. Like I said, maybe I just misheard you on that, but yeah, I just think that you know, this and I've been saying it for like a month and a half now, like dudes like, and like we already agreed on it, so I don't need to reiterate it, but yeah, she's his perverted little fantasy. You know what I
And I
mean?
can see that. Because even in the way that he talks and he carries himself, you can tell he has no swag about himself. He doesn't need it, right? Because he can just be himself. Like once you understand who you are, you can own your manhood and you don't need validation from other people. But I'm never blinded by that shit. Like I can sit with Dr. Umar, respect him, have a conversation with him, and enjoy him. But that's not too far fetched from a lot of men who feel a certain type of way about Black women in general. Like when they have that real nasty mentality about Black women, like nothing that we do can be right. They will overlook all of the positive Black women to only talk about the negative Black women. But when they get in a situation where they can be just like the men that they date, all that shit go out the window. They go straight to the women that they hate so much.
Cool. Let me pull this one up, and I don't really want to play this one, but I'll just steal it, right? Uh, I don't know how, why, who the fuck
I don't even know how
authorized
we
this.
got this far.
Yeah, this 20v1 shit, and they doing it with the little kid, the little RT or whatever, right? So like I said, I'm not gonna play the footage because it's like kids involved. And of course they edited it to the point of where I'll put it in the chat so you guys can go look at it if you want to. And they was trying to make it seem like the dude was insinuating whatever, which I don't want to go that far. But just the fact of the matter, bro, that we're doing dating shows for children and children are doing inappropriate things in front of adults and being allowed and make bro, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? This is a parenting issue and problem. What parent signed the paperwork? Okay, because you have to have paperwork signed, especially if there are children and minors involved, for this to be done and for you to allow your child to be put out here. Again, y'all be quick to cover up people's faces and all this shit and so on and so forth. Ain't no fucking faces covered because y'all gave them the clearance, you know what I'm saying, to use the footage in the what's the name, right? So now you have all of these small children. These ain't teenagers. These ain't 15, 16, whatever, or even preteens. These are little kids, bro. And they doing dating shows, bro. What the fuck is going on, bro? What are we doing?
It also speaks to the nature of us picking a certain type of man. Because you done set this young boy up here, he's dressed a certain type of way, he looks a certain type of way. You already stereotyping him. And you already stereotyping the little girls, and you already got them ready in their mind to have to go compete for a man. And with the competing comes desperation. You just basically set the foundation for a whole group of baby mamas and baby daddies. One man, multiple women. The shit is sick. It's pathetic, to be honest. Because the actual balloon pop shit is supposed to be really around dating. Like, which one of these people are better suitable for you? But you're not doing that. You're making a mockery of all of them. This shit just stupid to me.
These are gonna be some badass kids when they become preteens and middle schoolers. They're gonna be very mannish, very womanish, and they're gonna be overly opinionated, and they're not gonna respond to authority because they think they are authority to their own self. Just and I really can't be too stringent on them because this is how these are people I grew up with. This is kind of how it was when I was coming up, like, and I got friends of mine who still paying for their mamas raising them like this, and I just kind of feel bad for people who are teachers because these are some extremely worldly children. And I don't know how, if you're in education, how you can possibly discipline children like this.
You can't,
I
because
just
the
don't know.
parents don't feel. This is why when Mr. Fantastic say we got a parenting epidemic, when you get to the point where parents feel like nobody can discipline my child unless I say so, and the only way you can help me with my child is if you're providing financially, then that applies to the school too. They don't stop them from, they don't stop their children from imposing. Hell, they at the point where they're telling their kids, whatever you feel like doing, don't let your teacher take your phone. If you want to feel like you want to get up and disrupt the class and go to the bathroom, you ain't gotta ask her. But it's like, how can you tell me about rules and regulations at my job and make it seem like your child is the only special child in a room full of 18 kids?
Yeah, and another thing too, to add on to that, you kind of touched on it before. How they raise their children a certain way. We just gotta call it as it is, man. Bro, it was a while. It wasn't until I got to be a teenager till I was talking street like this. These children street is shit. Pardon my French. And what I mean by that is they just so, like, you can tell they've been subjected to so much. Like they talk a little too street for me. Like they talk a little bit too hoodlumish. I didn't start talking like that, so I was like 12, 14 years old. And that's growing up where I grew up at. Like I mentioned before, I just don't see a world where, especially in certain areas, I don't see a world where you can reasonably expect teachers to teach these children. Because, I mean, it's one thing if your kids are mannish or womanish. That's one thing. It's a totally another thing if your kids think like felons and they think like people who like to fight authority all the damn time. That's you're asking me to tame a lion. You know what I mean? Like that's especially with the young girls. I've coached young boys before when I was coaching in college, and I can tell you, they can be street, but you can work around a little bit because young boys respond well to masculinity. These young girls, I don't know what y'all are gonna do, man. I don't know what y'all are gonna do, and that's me respecting children and stuff like that. But I don't know what y'all are gonna do. These young girls, like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how you can reasonably teach a school full of young girls with this mentality. I don't know how you're gonna do it.
Well, it's not just the girls, it's the boys too. It's not a one-sided issue, bro. It's just been this way.
And maybe that's just my experience. Cause like I said, when I was coaching in BR and I was coaching baseball and football in BR, the boys weren't that bad to me.
Yeah, because you were coaching.
Yeah, I mean, they
Typically,
weren't that bad to me.
let me say it like this, because this is the bias. Typically, when you got kids who are passionate about something and they understand, putting children in sports make them understand rules and regulations and practices and principles. This is why I believe that more women should actually start playing sports, because sports is not very important to a lot of women. I cheered, I played softball, I played baseball. This is why I can understand the nature of teamwork and shit like that. Baseball, I was the only black girl on the team. Well, softball, rather. I was the only black girl on the team. When you get boys in sports and they understand that I have to put in the work now, it's going to reap a reward later on down the line. Aside from that, they just genuinely like the shit. But them boys that you weren't working with, guess where they was? The ones going to ALE, the ones getting suspended, the ones getting out of school, going on the block. You're dismissing a whole sector of other problematic children that them young girls who are also the problem got nothing but free time to go and freelance under, because the boys that you were actually cultivating and nurturing, they were around practice doing something productive. So you didn't have an option of seeing nothing but productive young boys.
To each his own. I'll take that, but I mean,
No, that's the truth. That's not a to each his own. Because all the boys that's in the city or in the school are not playing sports. So the ones that are not playing sports, they're somewhere else doing something unproductive. That's not a to each his own. That's a hard truth. That's how young boys
I
first
don't.
get into games. That's how they first get into street shit. because they're not playing sports. They don't care about grades. They don't care about school. They don't have nothing else to look forward to.
I will say this though. I mean, I got friends who are teachers, and they tell me, and they tell me in the classroom, they say, you know, the boys have their days. They do get suspended and stuff like that, but at the same time, they've been more reasonable to deal with. Like they'll fess up to like there's a halfway point with the boys. I guess that's what I'm saying. But I just feel as though not even feel. From what I've seen, like going to high school, these people going to high school and stuff too. Because I'll be an open book. I got in trouble in school a lot too. I just believe that the boys are a little easier to deal with than the girls are on certain levels. That's just my experience though. I just believe that. Go ahead.
Cool. Love the barber. You got anything, brother, before you move to the last one?
Yes, sir. I wanted to address piece to the panel too. You know what I'm saying? Well, I wanted to address, three things. Dame Dash real shortly. Guys, this guy revolutionized the hip hop industry with the clothes, the marketing, the branding, things that he did. He is very, very good. Like the stuff that you're reading in the news, you really don't know about this man power plays that he does and the things that he's doing, son. He's cooking. He's doing really good, especially for A&R, a person who produced somebody in the rap game to have a successful career. After that, it's something you really never see. These guys that's A&Rs that leave, that have to chase after other men and make them successful so they can get a little percentage off of what this rap group or artists make is a total different ball game than Dame Dash. I'm gonna tell you. So that's all I really want to say. So he's very, very, very good to any standards that you might believe or think. But the other one I wanted to hit was my man, Dr. Umar. Guys, leave him alone. If a man want to clap some cheeks, relieve his frustration, and he can get next to a girl like Suki, I really don't know the backstory on Suki or anything about her. I don't follow that kind of stuff. But the thing is, she's looked very attractive to what I saw. If he can lay that down, do what he's gonna do with that, and he close to her to get that, kudos to him, and he's doing a very good job to get to her because I can't get to her right now because I don't know where she at. And where she at, he's at, and he's doing a great job on that. And the other one I want to hit that's really, really, I think is really important that if you could belabor and bring this home, is just black men. These people that's coming into this country are really taking the black jobs. The black jobs that get you on the path of a road to be successful, for you to get a job, to be a professional person who's in college, and you got that job that you do in construction, and you're making your $40, $30 an hour, taking care of your family, developing your mind, becoming that person that's professional, excuse me. If you think that these transitional jobs that get you to a place so you can get to a higher position and you men can just play video games and have this thug mentality, like you tough, you can fight and you can just beat up everybody and lose these bricklayers, these delivery jobs, these transitional jobs to get you to where you want to be, or you can keep those and make those a career and find a career within that, bid for different things, help people out with skills and labor. The black community is going to be demolished. I'm telling you, it's going to be demolished. And I'm personal about that because my target market is black men. I'm a barber. So if I see black men not working, not getting haircuts, not taking girls out on dates, not looking good for YouTube and Instagram, not looking good for going to church or whatever situation, because you come to me for me to make you look good, because you're working, you worked hard, you want to go out, everybody should enjoy the fruits of their labor. But if you're not laboring, you're not going to enjoy no fruits. That's just the way of the earth, the world, planting seeds, trees, anything. You must work for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And if you think not, think so, you're tough, you got a gun, I could beat you up, kill, this whole stupid response of this character while you getting married, you want to look like some kind of damn thug. This whole look is gonna wipe us out. And I give us 10 years, we back in slavery because you don't have your woman, you don't have work, you don't have nothing. You're a slave. You're gonna have to learn Spanish because you're gonna have to go to these people and ask them for a job. And you're not going to be able to communicate, and communicating is very important. And my last thing that I got to say about these small girls, Paris, I got to ask you a question, Miss Paradise. When girls, I just want to know what kind of person you are. When girls and boys come out the womb, who is smarter, the girl or the boy? I just want to know.
Equally manufactured between the two. Men are actually more intelligent than women.
So when it comes, I just want to know, when you have a baby and the baby girl come out and the baby boy come out, who develop quicker mentally?
They develop at the same rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stimulus determines that. So again, what you introduce a child to, the learning thing, I think Paris is up to like what the brain absorbs the most information. I think it's between like 1 and I want to say 4.
1 and
7?
Yeah. So it's a very pivotal age. It's like really, it's a small age. It's not like a whole lot of years. You might be right. It could be shorter, but I want to say it's around that time between like 1 and 5-ish.
Yeah.
Around
So the thing is, pretty much your child, every child already has like a predisposition for intelligence, right? But you can either help it or harm it by not nurturing it or by introducing them to things that are counterproductive and things that are anti-learning. So there is no, starting out, boys are smarter than girls or girls are smarter than boys. You know what I'm saying? Overall, like she says, though, IQ wise, men have had the highest IQs of all time. Men are just generally smarter. I don't know the actual science behind that. I can't tell it to you off the top of my head, but I can do some research and get back to you.
And so when you're talking about intelligence, right? The thing is, when they say girls mature faster, that's not in relation to mental intelligence. That's relation to puberty. That's all it is. It's just puberty.
Okay, so
Hold on. Wait a minute, love the barber, because you asked me a question. So puberty is the only thing in relation. It doesn't mean that because she has developed having a menstrual period or because she's developed her breast that she actually is more smarter than the young boy who is also the same age and he hasn't actually had pubic hairs develop or his testosterone, or that doesn't mean he's more smart. Women's brains are smaller than men's, but we use our brains more than men. Your brain is actually bigger, but as far as intellect, women pass their intellectual premise down to the children, and then it's up for you to nurture it, which is the key reason why it is important to have fathers, because they typically are more intelligent, even though your child gets their intellect from the mom. So if your child dumb, you pick the dumb woman.
Okay, well, it sounds good, but one thing I do know is that, it was a girl who played softball, right? A black girl. She was doing very well because her maturity level was able to compete with boys at a certain age. And then after puberty, guess what? She can't play with boys no more. When she can't get to a certain level, now when it comes down to pros and men develop more physically, that girl that did so good with the light eyes, the little black girl that was pitching, she can't go out there and pitch no more and compete against the man, because a simple fact that now this is when we kick in. And the man who have multiple children, my daughter is smarter than my younger boy. This is just what I see all throughout. Girls is a little bit more intuitive than boys. My only point I was making is we have to do something with our young females. This thing is getting out of whack and this thing is getting out of hand. And I wish just all black women can just say, put their trying to be beautiful, put their trying to be a boss chick, and put their I'm telling you this all to the side and say, we need to save our black young women. from the Cardi B's, from the Sexy Reds. We have to introduce this next group that's going to usher in our grandchildren. We need to really be there for them and say, yo, this is not the way of our Black womanhood. We did not teach you like this. We came up off of Mahalia Jackson, Whitney Houston. This is the way we sing. This is the way we talk. This is the way, this is how we
Whitney
do
Houston
what we
was a
do.
drug
And
addict
we
who was
need you
also
Black
living.
women to really make a movement and campaign for these Black girls, because we can't do it. We cannot do what we need y'all to do with these Black women. Stop bashing us and please get to these Black little girls, because y'all are creating some monsters and nobody could discipline a little girl. No one can discipline a little girl nowhere on earth. Only a woman can. You cannot, if you tell me a man could discipline a little girl, okay, that's what you say. But I know for a fact you have to leave little girls alone and just go to mommy or go to auntie, and we need y'all. I'm telling you, I have a daughter. We need y'all. And y'all probably don't think so. You know, our thing is to be there to say, listen to your mother. You heard what your mother said. Do what your mother said. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel as a man, as a father, that's my job to do, to whatever rules you lay down, to reinforce them, to let her know it's a solid front for me to go after you, for you to help my baby girl be successful woman, family orientated, bring my grandchildren in and keep the legacy and the name going. We need y'all for that. And if there's a disagreement on that, I understand. But you know what I mean? But to my boy, Dr. Umar, leave him alone. Brothers, get yourself together and make sure you can put yourself in a position to get to a Suki. Put yourself in a position to get to the bad chicks that all of y'all lusting off, and do what you got to do. Women are made for us to enjoy.
Brother. All right, brother. You got it, man. I got it. We got to close this out, man. This will go very short today, but that's wild, brother. Like that. Hey, man. Again, if Suki's your type of coochie, brother, go right ahead. Shoot your shot, man. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I hope you win in all your endeavors, brother. But this right here, man. We're gonna close it out with this one. The nigga wars continues. Oh, hold on. No, not this one. Is that the one I wanted? Is that the one? Hold on. No, that's not the one. Hold on. This one was actually, what's the name? This was the nigga reply. Here we go. There we go. The nigga wars continue. Anytime Sha'Carri wins, y'all tell us it's a win for all Black people. When the Caribbean wins, y'all throw up your flags and talk about y'all the best. Keep that energy. This shit right here, okay? Again, the Olympics. You niggas do not care about sports until I just don't get it, man. All right? The Olympics happen every 4 years. 4 of them, okay? 4. And now y'all niggas is track experts and the speed and this and all this other shit. Like, bruh, we are never gonna have that global nigga picnic, man. It's never gonna happen. Do you see the Diaspora Wars ever ending, Paris?
No. And I hate to be the person playing Oppression Olympics with this, but I feel like in a lot of ways, Black Americans are justified in their feelings.
How so?
Because it's never taken serious. Like you always want to shit on how our culture is, or you want to tell us what we can and can't do, or what we're not good at. Like the stigma of Black people, hell, he just said it. You always want to sag, and y'all want to have y'all, thugged out, and he just said it. That's how they think of us.
So basically, you saying this right here.
The Black man in America is the most copied man on this planet, bar none. Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. How about that?
And not just the men, the women too. I guess shout out to Black women. Again, like I said, bro.
And again, like, okay, so I don't like to talk about the politics. I genuinely don't like playing Oppression Olympics, but there is so much denouncing of how Black Americans are. Hell, even if you talk about Africans that come over here, they don't like working with us. They respect being around white people more than us. They tell their children we're lazy. Hell, I done went to college with them, worked alongside of them. they be sitting up there scamming and flipping, flipping cars and shit for them to sustain a lifestyle over here, wearing nothing but designer. But because we don't uphold that, they'll still come steal our swag and then try and make it seem like, oh, we're lazy, this, then the third, without even attempting to know the history, or you're calling us lazy, but we're in the same environment together. How does that work? If me and you at the same job, we got the same fucking accolades. How are you even embedding it to your mind or telling your children that I'm black and I'm lazy and I'm unappreciative?
Yeah, man. And like I said, I've literally heard that. I
I've
think,
heard it.
yeah, a lot of people don't get to have these conversations. And I heard, and this is not even like, this is previous generations. Now I
And
think it's
they
some previous.
don't want their children, to be honest. I always tell black women, as much as you want to date a black man, you don't have to limit yourself because the diaspora is so widespread. You can date other men who are black. Indian men are still black. Haitian men are still black. Jamaican men are still black. Ghanaian men are still black. Like, the issue is that they don't like us. They do not like us. And it ain't got nothing to do with the size. It ain't like, some of them love, shapely women and stuff like that. Like, it ain't got nothing to do with that. They just don't like black American people. So I don't see it ending, but I also feel like that I enjoy every single time we go to those Olympics and we run their ass into the ground. I enjoy it.
Shout out to the nigga wars, man. No, like you said, man. Like outside of what Usain Bolt and is it Kellyanne Fraser Price or Ann Fraser Price? I know that's her name. I forget what her first name is. But hey, Jamaica has been like the arch nemesis of, they've held track and field down for at least a decade plus over the last like 12 years or so, right? So like you said, so now you're getting America to step back into that, because early 90s, bro, 80s and 90s, that was black folks had that shit. Any of that running shit,
Running was all a movie, which I genuinely don't feel like Jamaicans and Haitians are as bad with not liking American black people. I don't believe Jamaicans and Haitians are that way, to the extent of like you find a Kenyan or Nigerian. It's a whole other. It's nothing like the same. And I don't believe that the competition between the Jamaicans or American blacks are out of hate. Like, we'll get into it. Like, I don't believe that. It's just basically two niggas talking shit. But man, when you actually talking about the real diaspora, like, you got a whole Indian man sitting here making a fucking rap song, or the Indian man who just stole fucking Project Pat whole flow, nigga. He stole Project Pat whole flow. And said Project Patar, like, it's like stolen. Bro, they're still black. We know that. But at the end of the day, there is a huge disrespect factor that play into American black people. And the fact that a lot of us speak up about it, I ain't even mad at it. Like, even with Kamala, and I know I mentioned this before, and I'm probably going to tweet about it and piss them off. Y'all keep trying to push that this is the first black woman president, bro. It's the same thing with Obama. No, they're not foundational black Americans. They're not from the roots. They're not from chattel slavery. That's not their heritage. So we still don't have that form of representation that you feel like you're about to get with them. It's not there.
Yeah, man.
She may be half black, but her dad's Jamaican.
And they talking about now how they pretty much came through the internet and they've had it updated, his nationality or his race or whatever. People talking about that. If you Google it now, he's like Indian, Jamaican, or something like that, or so on and so forth. Just so so you can have the black part on there. But yeah, man. I find it more funny than anything. Like you said, I wish it was as back and forth banter as the light skin versus dark skin thing. People get pissed off about that, but bro, that's just joking. That's especially for Americans. It's not a caste system. Yeah, it's not a caste system or some shit like if you were down in Brazil or Colombia you know, in those other places where that shit, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you're a second class citizen for real. For us, it's just a friendly back and forth. And people like to act like just, you know, such thing, a really big deal. But like you said, from the Caribbean to the Americans, I think it's on that level. But Africans, they really don't fuck with us for real.
They don't like
a lot of times. Not all. But like you said, especially the older you go back in those generations, they have the negative outlooks of and opinions of and all these different things. But like you said, they literally come here and they don't keep wearing them motherfucking dashikis. They don't keep goddamn, you know what I'm saying?
They jump right into some fucking Gucci, some Jabot.
Exactly.
I ain't even gonna say Jabot because that's a little bit outdated for them. But they jump into Nike, they jump into Louis Vuitton, they jump into fucking anything that we make popular. The moment that they see it and they like it and it's shiny and it pop out, that's what they finna wear. Amiris, they jump into all that shit.
And all that shit be fake.
And where did they get that from? Because they ain't have access to it where they was.
Yep. That the biggest supporters are goddamn what's the name, man. Yeah, I'm glad you said I got it.
Capitalism, the biggest supporter of capitalism and that fake ass hip hop urban image, they are some of the biggest supporters. And for the longest period of time, Atlanta was overrun with African men playing on American black women for citizenship.
Yeah.
Manipulating and scamming. Running them
big
bitches
girls
bad.
Big girls galore. The big girl wasn't safe. Wasn't no big girl safe. He saw you and you had no matter how many kids you had or whatever, baby. He was gonna make that marriage last for them 2 years he needed for that citizenship.
And pay her, but he needed to pay her up front. And then after that, if it's sustained, run off with the money. And that's why you had so many black women speaking out and saying, "Good, they just as bad as the regular niggas. Like they just as bad. Like they do shit too, bro. Like, and I don't understand it because again, if you, bro, that fucked me up. My best friend is a nurse, so she said there was a African woman who worked with her, an older African woman, and you know she come out the door making good money, shit like that. And she was like, every single time they would have an issue in the office or she wanted a day off, the damn African lady would basically try and undercut her. She was like watching her going to tell on her, and it's like this girl don't even talk.
Yeah. And for y'all, this is what we talking about. I remember I mentioned this the other day, but like, listen, man, shout out to Project Pat, man, one of the most underrated rappers of all time.
Wait a minute.
And again, man, for y'all that don't know, Indians hate niggas. Now you talking just straight out hate, niggas that hate, bro. They're like, I'm surprised when parents. It's probably about time for one because you know every now I say like every couple months you have the the Indians where you know hey, all it takes is one thing to get it started. I know it smells crazy.
Get on our side of the internet, bro.
Hey, listen, all it
Get
takes
over
is
there
one
internet. Hey, that shit lasted for a fucking week.
Hey, war. All war.
They was not. We would not fucking round off of one tweet. And you know how bad? Do you know how bad it got? The fact that they was right in their language and we was trying to.
Yeah, exactly. Translate this shit. So they won't understand. Yeah, man. Hey, that shit there, bro. I'm telling you,
that shit was so funny because it's like you couldn't even comment in agreement under somebody's shit without your ass getting a part of the straight. Like we was arguing with the motherfuckers for a week straight.
When I learned that shit, man, I was like, bro, these motherfuckers do not quit.
I don't even know how they got on our side of the internet.
Yeah. All of you criminal, you go to jail.
But I mean, it's really not hard because if we're talking about the immigration problem, when they come over here, they literally don't even like the immigrants. They don't find themselves in all black neighborhoods. Yeah.
No, that's just where they make money.
Yeah, that's just they. But I guess what I'm saying is right, like the impedance of their prejudice is so deep to the point where they can come to our country and be wise enough to not even place themselves in a neighborhood around us. You don't see it. I don't give a fuck if you are talking about you're in a bigger city. The only shit that happens, that actually happens is in fucking New York. But you're not gonna be in no black neighborhood and see no Indian person. Hell, you're not even gonna be in a black neighborhood and see no African person. And I ain't talking about whether the neighborhood is rich or poor. I'm talking about if it's black. You're not gonna see it. They don't come over here and they don't get around us. You're not gonna be in an all-black neighborhood and see an Asian. You're not gonna see it. So imagine the type of thought process behind a person that comes over to a country where they're already saying that they're poor and they put themselves in a financial position to make more than where they decide they want to live in. Because we know a lot of black people live in low income neighborhoods, but imagine how fucked up your mind gotta be to say, I'm not even gonna live around them and save money.
Yeah, no, well, the Mexicans do it, and that's shout out to them, man. Or what Hispanics? I gotta stop saying Mexicans, but the Hispanics do it, and I think that's one of the biggest things that we. I was just talking about this last night. How we used to joke them and clown them because it was like, hey, man, they 10 people to a 2-bedroom apartment, not understanding that hey, everybody's that's however many adults that's making money, and they're pooling all their money together to be able to buy them foreclosures and them short sales and them tax liens that you ain't paying off the damn, paying the property taxes on. So they get whole houses.
All they end up doing is they all work at the same damn job. They get each other on at the same job, bringing the same amount of money. All of them live together, and then when they get ready to move out and get the foreclosed ass house, they get them all. They try to get them all in close proximity of each other.
Yep. Like I said, literally buying the fucking right.
Their community.
Right up under our nose, man. So again, you got nobody to blame but ourselves. But hey, appreciate you coming through. Anything else got to close out?
Nah, I'm finna go eat.
Yeah, I gotta do the same thing. I ain't eating all day. Figure out what the hell I'm
all day. This all I had. Water.
Well, that's good. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all enjoy. See y'all next week.
For sure, man. For sure. Appreciate you for coming through.
Bye.
Yep. Hey, man. Great show today. Appreciate Brian and Love the Barber for coming up. Listen, man. There's a lot of stuff going on, bro. If you don't have a Twitter, man, follow me on Twitter. Twitter is entertaining. Some of the best entertainment, man. If you want to know what's going on, what's popping, whatever the current events and stuff are, of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. You got a life, you're a grown person. All work, no play, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Makes you have a very, very weary day. All right. So you need something to just get you to escape, man, and just, look at something, laugh, giggle, or whatever, or see some stuff that's going on that you may not know about. Like I said, that very, very unfortunate tragedy of the young girl being ran over, things like that, to make you aware and just, again, appreciate your children. A lot of stuff, a lot of times, man, we take things for granted. Okay. You just, hey, you, bro, like, again, whoever you believe or whatever you believe, hell, if it's yourself, did you thank somebody for you waking up this morning, bro? You know what I'm saying? I think we just go through life so much, thinking everything is a given and everything is a guaranteed, that we take a lot of things for granted. Being able to walk. Again, shout out to Shawty that was in a wheelchair. Listen, man, anything can happen any day. You know what I'm saying? And your whole life changed for the rest of it you got to live, right? So by all means, do the things you can do to prevent, tragedies from happening. But if and when they do, hey, you still got to move forward, right? You still got to keep living. So just to give perspective, man, and have an understanding of, just how great you have things in comparison to how horrible they could be. But all in all, man, hey, glad I appreciate y'all for coming through. That's all I got, man. Catch y'all on the next one. Holla, we out.